What's up guys? The Realme GT just launched. It's launching at an absolutely incredible price point. If you pre-order it, if you guys want to pre-order it, I will have links in the description down below of where you can pre-order it right now on AliExpress, because it is actually the only area that you can pre-order it at this point in time. But we're not talking about that today. I wanted to talk about some of the key differences between the Xiaomi Mi 11i and the Realme GT. Now, on my website and on my TechFluent Facebook page, I have a little infographic that just plainly states the differences with you guys. I know a lot of my audience is bilingual, or they're English, or they're non-native English speakers, so I wanted to put something written to help you guys out. But the biggest difference between the Realme GT and the Mi 11i or the Mi 11X are as follows. First is the screen size. The Realme GT has a 6.43-inch Super AMOLED display, 120 Hz, 360 Hz touch sampling rate. The Mi 11i or Mi 11X, as it's sold in India, has a 6.67-inch display. Both of the displays have almost identical specs. They're probably both Samsung E4 panels, but don't be confused. These are the lower tier Samsung E4 panels, and they're not OPTL. They're not variable refresh rate, but they're stuck at their different refresh rates. That's not to say that they're bad screens. They're both totally acceptable screens, and they are of a flagship tier, although they are not the flagship spec for the current crop of Super AMOLED displays. The next thing on this that is the possibly biggest difference, just a reminder, after all of these videos go live, I am on my Discord server chatting with you guys in the voice chat, answering questions about tech, sharing memes, and I hope to see you guys there. Links in the description. While both of these devices have 4,500 milliamp hour batteries, or the Mi 11i has a 4,520 milliamp hour battery, the charging tech with the Realme GT is the flagship. And when I say flagship, it is the best charging that you can possibly get from BBK right now. It is their 65 watt Super Dart or Super VOOC charging. It's where they split the two battery cells in half, and you have to use their proprietary cables and charger in order to get that. Whereas the Xiaomi Mi 11i is using the 2-year-old turbocharged 2.0 technology. It's this charger. The Realme GT does 0 to 100% in 35 minutes, whereas the Mi 11i takes 52 minutes, or almost double the time. And it is not the flagship charging from Xiaomi right now. Xiaomi has better charging tech on their other devices. So that is a non-flagship difference between these two devices. Next one is cameras. Now, the Xiaomi Mi 11i uses the same sensor as the Redmi Note 10 Pro. It is the Samsung HM208 megapixel sensor that bins down to 12 megapixels with its 9:1 pixel binning. I might be mixing some of these numbers up, but it's hard to remember. It features an 8 megapixel ultra wide camera with an f2.2 aperture lens, and then a 5 megapixel macro camera. They call it a tele macro camera. All that the tele part of the macro camera means is that it has a more zoomed in look for the macro camera, but it's not like a telephoto lens and then a macro lens. No, it is a strictly macro lens. Realme GT utilizes the 1.5-year-old Sony IMX682. The IMX682 is a lower tier version of the 686 that was found on the Poco F2 and just the Poco F2, or the Xiaomi Mi 10. No, the Mi 10T Pro uses a different sensor. I can't keep all these Xiaomi devices straight. But the IMX682 is a totally fine, adequate sensor. It's got 4:1 pixel binning, so you're gonna end up with 14 megapixel images. I might be confusing some of these numbers, but the technology of the Sony IMX682 is a slightly older tech from what we have on Samsung's HM2. I have been really impressed with the HM2 camera performance on my Redmi Note 10 Pro, and you can see Gcam videos up here, because with Gcam during the daytime, I'm getting fantastic dynamic range and detail. better than, better than all of the other cameras I've used on a Xiaomi device up to this date, including the Poco F2 with the IMX686. The next difference between the Realme GT and the Mi 11i is the RAM storage variants. Now, both devices feature LPDDR5 RAM, both devices feature UFS 3.1 storage, but on the Realme GT, you can get up to 12 gigabytes of RAM if you opt for the 256 gigabyte model, whereas with Xiaomi, you are capped at 8 gigabytes of LPDDR5 RAM. Neither of these devices have expandable storage, so you're gonna be stuck with whatever storage variant you get. The construction of the Realme GT is like plastic with a faux leather vegan back option along with a glass back option. The Mi 11i is also like a plastic glass metal construction hybrid thing, but neither device is actual glass on top of metal the way like the Poco F2 was, which used an aluminum frame and rails. There is much more plastic in both of these devices, obviously to cut cost. Another key difference between these two is the fingerprint scanner. Now, the Xiaomi Mi 11i features a side-mounted fingerprint scanner. I'm gonna say it's probably the same fingerprint sensor that I have on the Redmi Note 10 Pro. It's a great sensor. In fact, sometimes it's too good and I accidentally unlock my device when I'm walking with it in my hand. I just accidentally unlocked my device right now. It's a really, really good fingerprint sensor. The Realme GT is utilizing an in-display fingerprint scanner. It's not that one of these technologies is better or worse than the other, it's just that they are different. Now, if you wanna know what I would pick, Realme UI versus MIUI 12.5, we can guess that MIUI will have ROMs and stuff like that for people that want ROMs. That said, buying a Xiaomi device to put a custom ROM on it is expecting people, aka developers, to work for free. I would not like to work my job for free. I don't know about you guys, but the Xiaomi community is the biggest custom ROM community because of all of those devs working for free. Thank you guys a lot. If any of the devs are watching this, I really appreciate your work. I really appreciate you guys adding an extended lifespan to devices like my, I don't have it here, like my Xiaomi Mi Pad 4, which is running .os, and you guys can watch a video about that up here. In regards to Realme and custom ROMs and stuff like that, Realme doesn't have the greatest track record for custom ROMs. We might see some stuff because this is such a cheap Snapdragon device, but I wouldn't anticipate, or I wouldn't buy the Realme GT to put a custom ROM on it. That said, Oppo, Realme, BBK, OnePlus are now integrating more of Oxygen OS into Color OS, and Color OS is Realme OS. So with updates in Android 12, it's basically already been confirmed that Color OS based on Android 12 is going to be significantly closer to Oxygen OS, and Oxygen OS and Color OS are kind of starting to merge. So if you end up with a Realme GT for 2 years, your Realme GT in 2 years might be running something a lot closer to Oxygen OS. Xiaomi just launched their Mi Pioneer program to iron out bugs. The choice now is yours. I have stuff written about this on my Facebook page, on my blog, and if you guys want to go ahead and buy either of these devices, go ahead and check out my affiliate links down below. It helps me a lot. And if you have questions, go ahead, hit me up on Twitter or Discord. Till next time, it's been Mitchell.